Rugby League is back, round 3, done and dusted, MG. One of the big talking points from the weekend happened in the Knights-Panthers game. The Knights were actually beating the Panthers when this happened. The Mitch Barnett brain snap.
Mitch Barnett's been sent off. He has elbowed Chris Smith in the chin.
Oh, he didn't miss
and
either.
He's going to get a few weeks for that.
There it goes, right between the posts. So, Penrith and Newcastle on the Triple M Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. 6-all. Mitch Barnett in the shed in tears.
And MG, has to be said, I mean, you had a few brain snaps over the years. It does happen, but this was a pretty ugly one. How many weeks do you think he's looking at?
Well, the problem with this was we didn't really see it happen when we saw it on the replay. You just don't see that type of thing in the game these days. And I think when we saw Mitch Barnett in the sheds in tears, I think the enormity of the situation kind of hit him with like a sledgehammer. And I think he's looking at least between 4 and 6 weeks on the sideline. If you go on what Latrell did to Joey Manu last year, with that 6 weeks, well, probably similar. It was he knew. He didn't remonstrate with the ref. He didn't, I don't want to sit here and kick him while he's down because it was a brain explosion of the highest proportions, and he'll pay for it.
How do you stop that? Do you go and talk to a sports psychologist? How do you get yourself out of those snaps, MG?
Well, I did. I spoke with one many times, but I think I just told them what they wanted to hear. It's something that was in the game when I played a lot.
Yeah.
It was in the game every week. You'd see something like that happen, but you just don't see it these days. The game's cleaned up a lot, and he'll get over it. He's a good player. And so it's just it was uncharacteristic. Put it that way.
What about the Tigers, MG? They went down again on Friday night. They've lost their 8 of their last 10. They need a win. There's a few dramas there at the Tigers.
Yeah, and when you're losing, everything goes against you. Leilua's try was a try. They've come out and said that. Another turning point. There's talk also, the Herald were reporting that Robbie Farah was blowing up at, so one of the players come off and said, why am I off? And he said, well, apparently a spectator heard him say something about Madge, and then he's come out and denied that. So they need a couple of wins, the Tigers. They just need a couple of wins. They should, that game against the Warriors was a bludger, but they've got to eke out a couple of wins, and they've got to do it soon. Otherwise, the pressure will mount, especially on Luke Brooks and Madge Maguire.
Ray Stone, what a glorious creature.
Wow.
Yes.
I was at a birthday party Saturday night and they were doing the speeches when Ray Stone went for glory, and you could just hear me going, during the speeches. A try in the Golden Point to win the game. Take a listen.
Get that India Storm.
Brown's got himself in an interference role. Moses with his first shot. Moses kick has hit the upright. Stone, my goodness! Stop press on the Southern Highlands News. Ray Stone may have scored the match winner in a double.
Eels
How
are looking good.
was it?
So a lot of our listeners wouldn't really know the name Ray Stone. Parramatta fans know him because he's that dogged player that every team needs. He came on that game and made an immediate impact. He scored a try, and then that last field goal that Mitch Moses attempted, he was the only Parramatta player chasing the ball. The ball come off the post, ran into his arms. Unfortunately, he might have sustained an ACL injury. But for mine, that's the reason the Dolphins have signed Ray Stone for next year and beyond, because every club needs a Ray Stone in their team. He was magnificent. He was my player of the round. He was just fantastic. I think I said something on social media that watch out, ScoMo, because Ray Stone has ended the race.
MG, Manly needed a win. They got the win. Tommy Turbo back to his best, but only a 1-point win over the Bulldogs. Manly, I mean, look, they'll be happy with the win, but good to see Tommy Turbo back.
Disastrous weather. I mean, but you're right, Pagey. Tommy Turbo, and Manly needed that win. Yeah. Manly needed to elk out a win, a grinding win by a point. The Bulldogs are better. We can see that the Bulldogs are a lot better team than they were in years gone by, and they're going to win, I think, a lot more than they lose this year. I think they're going to be that team that may even sneak into the top 8. But Manly, they needed that. Now it's once they've got that really tough win out of the way, now they can look for brighter days, the Sea Eagles.
MG's Golden Points. Bluebet's 4-point halftime early payout. Available on NRL games in rounds 1 to 4. T's and C's apply.
Yes, it's Monday and time for MG's Golden Points as we have a look at the moments that mattered from round 3 of the NRL. MG, first off for round 3, who was your most impressive team of the round?
The Eels were, until I saw the Cowboys play last night. Cowboys were my most impressive team. 38-12, they thumped the Broncos, and a star was unearthed in Jeremiah Nanai, who scored 3 tries. So, Cowboys.
Most surprising team of round 3?
I think them again. I think the
Yeah.
Cowboys. I thought they were fantastic again. The Sharkies were surprising in the way they thumped the Dragons all the way back on Thursday night, 36-12 in crap. I was going to say something else. The word crap.
In inclement conditions.
Yes.
It's been a big weekend.
Shivers.
Your most disappointing team of the round, MG.
Sorry, Pagey, but it's your Roosters.
Oh, yeah, tell me
They
about
just
it.
didn't strike a blow against the Rabbitohs. And look, at the moment, I don't know what that is. I don't know how to put my finger on it. It's like they're trying too hard to get the motion happening. It'll come from the Roosters because they're just too star-studded. But at the moment, they just look like they're stuck in a little bit of quicksand.
Okay, biggest issue out of the round.
Oh, look, by far the send-off of Mitch Barnett. The Newcastle Knights were up 6-4, and then this happened.
Mitch Barnett's been sent off. He has elbowed Chris Smith in the chin.
Oh,
he didn't miss
And he's going to get a few weeks for that.
There it goes, right between the posts. So, Penrith and Newcastle on the Triple M Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. 6-all. Mitch Barnett in the shed in tears.
Yeah, he knew he'd stuffed up.
The enormity of it would have hit him in the sheds, and there's no excuse for it. He knows that. It's one of them moments where you just have a total brain snap, and he probably he would have thought to himself, why did I do that?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you might have 4 to 6 weeks to think about it.
Because he's a nice guy. It's not like he's an idiot, you know.
It's the first time he's been in that
Yeah.
time of... Yeah, because
That's
it's
right.
just something you saw in the game, 20, 30 years ago regularly. But you don't see it anymore. That's why it stood out so much on the weekend.
Okay, and your player of the round, MG, please tell me it's Mitch Barnett.
No.
Because you're old school.
Yeah.
It is Ray Stone. Ray
Yeah.
Stone came on in the game against the Melbourne Storm. He was just heroic. He scored a try, and then Mitch Moses attempted a field goal in Golden Point, hit the upright, and the only Parramatta player chasing through, and this is why the Dolphins' main man, Wayne Bennett, has identified him as a player to come to the Dolphins because he was the only one chasing. Got the rebound off the upright, stepped off his right leg, and unfortunately looks like he's done his ACL, but scored the winning try. Ray Stone, wow. Prime Minister. Yep, he's the new man.
He's got a good eye, that sex machine, Wayne Bennett, doesn't
He
he?
has.
He's just got
He
an
has.
eye for it. We've got some listener questions. Mickey T94. G'day, Mickey. Was yesterday a massive reality check for the Kevy and the Broncos?
Yes, it was. Because while the Cowboys were really efficient and they played well on the back of Chad Townsend, and Val Holmes had his best game of the year as well, I just think that the Broncos' balloon burst somewhat yesterday, yes.
Jason Redlin, massive Roosters fan, MG.
Oh,
sorry about
Jason.
that.
Yeah. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Why were we so horrible against the Bunnies on Friday night?
Yeah, but look, for all the reasons I've just explained, they just looked a yard off the pace, the Roosters, and that's something that Trent Robinson will be... Look, Victor Radley, for mine, he's playing spooked. He's playing like he doesn't want to go in aggressively because he's got so many charges hanging over his head, but I just want Victor to unleash. We expected fireworks from the Roosters after what happened to Joey Manu last year, but they were timid. And that's not something you'd say about the Roosters. So whoever's playing them this weekend, look out.
Yep. That's MG's Golden Points thanks to Bluebet. Bluebet's 4-point halftime early payout available on NRL games in rounds 1 to 4. T's and C's apply. Don't worry, darling, I'm getting to the tipping scores. Here we go. I know you've wanted to talk about this all morning.
The tipping
You
scores.
had not
Yes.
forgotten the
What
tipping
are you putting
I
your hand
forgot-
up for? You're not at school.
No, I did. I don't mind. We don't even need to
She's
say
pointing
it.
at the sheet. Tipping. Don't forget the tipping
okay.
scores.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how many
you're
we-
winning. You're winning.
First of all, how many we tip, Paige? Me and you.
We both tipped 4 on the weekend. Jessie
Yep.
May tipped 6 and is leading our little tipping comp 17 out of 24.
I know. But as you guys always say, it's
Yep.
always the biggest D head that's on top of the ladder, and I'm willing to take it.
Hey,
We don't
winning's
call you
winning,
dish- we don't call
babe.
you dish head.
Enjoy it.